Well, hello and welcome to another virtual classroom experience. My name is Vivian Stewart and I'm one of your librarians to work at Southwest. Now, my task today is to simply introduce you to the Infonet Library and to make sure that you know how to use the library's resources to locate health and wellness type materials. Now, if you've never experienced one of our sessions before, I will be going over everything that I would normally go over in a traditional classroom setting or if we were in a computer lab. The only difference is that you're not able to do the hands-on experience along with me, but this is something that you can work on later on. So our starting point will be the library's webpage, and our address is www.southwest.tn.edu/library. The first thing that I would like to do is to make sure that you're able to navigate around our page without any problems. So let's just take a quick look at it. At the very top, it says, Welcome to the Infonet Library, and we have 5 locations for our students, faculty, and staff to use, followed by a collage of photos from the different campus locations, followed by the announcement that we're closed to the public, but online library assistance is still available through Ask a Librarian. Our mission statement covers what we're trying to accomplish throughout the school year, followed by the most used pages that we have, which would be our databases. Course reserves is where you would go if you were trying to find out if one of our locations had a print copy of a textbook that you could use for a 2-hour period. Reserve a study room can be used so that you can book a study room and use it for a 3-hour period. Forms are used in order for us to gather feedback, and also you can use our forms to request information or services from us. Cybercat is our online catalog, which will allow you to access our print resources mainly. WorldCat can be used to find out where holdings are at other libraries. SOAR is our discovery service, and you will actually see this a little bit later. Instant Messages is where you can chat with a librarian online. Now, currently, there's no one online, but you have the ability to send us an email. There's a category that says links. Featured resources where you will view some of the materials that we have to offer. Over to the left-hand side, you have a widget that says Ask a Librarian. So we have about 8 different ways that you can get assistance from us, and none of these include a face-to-face type of interaction. We have our own YouTube channel where we have created videos and placed them here so that you can easily review how to use our resources. The 360 virtual tour will allow you to view the interior of our locations. The library webinars page will provide you with our schedule of our live sessions that you can experience. We have a social media presence of Facebook. Branch hours and infos will provide you with our typical operational hours. And report a problem is where you would go if you experience any type of technical issues. You can report it here so that we could take care of that in a timely manner. As I scroll up under links, I am selecting library services, next circulation services, and there are 3 things that I want to quickly talk about. Under checkout procedure, it lets you know that your college ID is required to check materials out from us. It is also a campus policy that you should have your college ID on you at all times. So keep in mind that if you want to check out any books to take home or check out a textbook and use in the library or possibly check out equipment like an iPad or a tablet and use in the library, we will need your college ID. Under the borrowing use agreements, we maintain partnerships with each of the schools that is listed here. So in typical situations, our students can visit these different locations and their students could come to the Infonet Library and use our facilities also. Now, during this pandemic, a lot of these schools are actually closed or only open to their students, faculty, and staff. So when things start to normalize a little bit, keep in mind that if you wanted to visit a Category A school like Christian Brothers University, they will allow you to borrow materials from their locations, but you must have your Southwest ID. And if it comes to using their computers, well, there may be some restrictions on that, so you would just need to inquire. If you wanted to visit the Cecil C. Humphrey School of Law, which is a Category D school, they will allow you to use their resources, but you must use everything on site. So I need you to keep in mind that we are maintaining these partnerships to make sure that you will have access to resources if you are comfortable and flexible enough to travel to these locations. At the very bottom, the last thing shows our rules of conduct. This is simply what we expect of anyone who visits our facilities. We expect everyone to monitor the noise level so that they will not be a distraction to others. We expect you to not bring in foods or beverages. At our Born Bloom Library, we do have the Cyber Cafe, and this is a designated place where you can go to eat and drink small items and then come back out into the library. Do not misuse library property. It's only asking that you be respectful. So when you come in, please do not put your feet up in chairs. Please don't sit on the tables. Please don't write on our property. And in between your classes, please don't come in and lie down and decide to take a nap. The last one asks you to place your cell phones on vibrate, and long conversations are not allowed. So we're definitely not saying that you can't use your cell phones, because you can. We simply need you to be mindful of item number 1. And if you're having a long personal conversation so that everyone can hear you, that can definitely be a distraction. Now you can always revisit this page, but at this point I am simply selecting my left arrow, and I want to suggest that you may want to look at the off-campus page and the frequently asked questions page. I'm going back one more page, and now we're back at our databases page. I am so sorry. We are back at the library's homepage. So the next place I would like to go is our databases. Now, our databases will provide you with alternatives other than using Google and Bing or Yahoo, which I am quite sure that you feel very comfortable using. But our databases are paid subscriptions that we are maintaining for your use, and we have over 200 titles on this page. Whenever you're working remotely, a Southwest username and password will be required for remote access, okay? We also have an A to Z resource page, which will give you an alphabetical listing of all of the databases that we maintain subscriptions to. So today I plan to possibly show you about 5 different resources. As I scroll down a little bit on our databases page, you'll see we have an alphabetical listing of broad categories. This starts with biographies if you're trying to find biographical information on people, and it goes all the way down to science. So we're just going to perform some very basic searches to try to find some health and wellness type topics so that you can see how to use our resources. I am starting with database collections. And under database collections, there's a category that says databases. And then we have a category that says multimedia. So these are videos that you can watch. I am selecting TEL, which stands for the Tennessee Electronic Library. And the first thing that I need to do is I need to sign in because I am working remotely. Now, once I am signed in, I will have access to all of my resources, so I won't have to do this again. The Tennessee Electronic Library has about 60 different titles. I am about to show you how we can search through all of the titles at one time to find information. In order to do that, I am simply selecting all of my titles. I click inside of my search box, which says find. And at this point, I want to try to find information on anxiety disorders. And now I press search. And just need to be a little patient to wait to see what it actually comes up with for me. As you can see, my computer's running just a tad bit slow. But under showing results for, I have over 186,000 general magazine articles. When it comes to academic journals, 344,000. There's a large number of books, newspaper articles, images, videos, and audios. Now, if I wanted to narrow these results down a little bit, I could either add some additional search terms like anxiety disorders and teens or anxiety disorders and medications, something to just kind of streamline it a little bit. Or you can filter down by selecting publication dates or different subjects or even document types. I am simply selecting full text documents, which removes any abstracts, any just citation information. My numbers change, but not very much. But basically, I just wanted to show you how to use this. So now under magazines, I'm down to 173,000, which are being sorted by relevance. So when you look at your results list, the titles of your articles are listed in blue. You have the source where your information is coming from. In some cases, it may give you the author's name. You're provided with the date, tells you how many words is in the article, and this happens to be a report. So at this point, it shows you what type of information it is. This happens to be a report. It could have been an interview or a book review or simply an article. And then you're provided with the reading level. It pulls one or two sentences from the article, and found in shows you the database from the previous page where the article came from. Now, at this point, you would just need to use your best judgment, looking for an article by title that seems as though it will give you something that you can use. So I think that I would like this one. So simply by selecting the title, I can now view the full text of this article. It's not a very long article, but still I can use it. There are some tools that are provided. At the very top, you'll see Cite. So when your instructor talks to you about citing your articles, citing your resources, this is something that, they will talk to you later about. But I just want you to know that all of our databases will provide you with a tool that will cite your resources in MLA 8th, APA 6th, or Chicago 17th. There is also a tool that will allow you to translate this article into multiple languages if you would like. I have the ability to increase or decrease the font size, to listen to this if I'm more of an audio type learner. This icon will allow you to sign into your Gmail account and send this to your Google Drive. You can use your Southwest credentials and send this to the Microsoft OneDrive. There's another email option, and then you can easily download this to a USB drive if you would like. Now over to the side, you'll see Explore or More Like This. So these are additional articles that are similar to what you've already found. And then these are some related subject headings that you can use to find similar type information. Now, as you're reading through the article, in this particular database, there's also an electronic highlighter that you can use. So if there was something in this paragraph that I like, I could just simply take my mouse and highlight it. And when I release my mouse, I have three options. I can select highlight, choose the color of my choice, and it highlights it for me. And then I could read some more, and if I saw something else that I like, I could repeat the same thing. And if I wanted to, I could just download the highlighted portions only. So keep in mind that as you're reading through the articles, you're looking for the information that you would like to share with your instructor or with your other classmates. It's not about you copying and pasting anything and using it as your own, but you are getting your ideas from these articles. Now, I know that at this point, you possibly feel very comfortable if you were just performing a Google search for anxiety disorders. I want you to think about when you perform a Google search, you're performing a keyword search. It's searching for anxiety and it's searching for disorder. So you're going to have a long listing of results. And some of them may not even be anything that's related to your topic. So when you are using our databases, your results are more in line to what you're actually looking for. So even though you feel comfortable using popular search engines, it's time for you as a college student to start using more scholarly, authoritative, and credible type resources. And that is what our databases will provide for you. So this is the Tennessee Electronic Library. We're back at our listing of databases. So at this point, I would like to go to the category of education. Now with education, we have our databases. You have some recommended websites, which are sites that we have discovered and considered them to be good. And then you have some videos that you can watch. Under education, let's select education database. So with this particular database, we will try to find information on mental health. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. I am enclosing my two terms in quotation marks. And now searching. And what is happening now is instead of it just looking for mental and health separated, it's putting the two words together. So all of my results will have these two words together. Now still we have a large number of results. So if I wanted to go back and possibly say mental health and children, just to try to narrow my results down a little bit, you can always do that. And I have 80,949. Now everything that is here is not full text information, so let me limit this to full text. And if I wanted to possibly limit it to by a certain date, I could use my slider if I wanted to, or even key in a date. So now I chose between 1990 and 1999, and I'm down to 4,958. So there's a lots of different ways to manipulate the information once you have actually found all of your results. So when you look at your citations, the title of my article is listed along with the author's name and the source. It pulls a couple of sentences from the source. And then these are my options. I could look at the abstract. I could just look at the full text HTML. Or I could look at the PDF version. So the PDF version will allow you to look at the scanned version of the article, the way it looked when it first appeared in that publication. So you have the full text is provided for you. And as you can see, this is page 1 out of 15, so it's actually 15 pages, and the others just had not loaded up. You have your tools across the top here that you can use. So this is education database. Let's go to the category of electronic books. This time, let's try to find books. So under databases, we're starting with Net Library, which is our largest ebook collection. There are about 269,000 books. So let's just look for health and wellness. I have 164 books on health and wellness. So as we scroll down, I like item number 3, Reclaiming Our Health, A Guide to African American Wellness, which is the title of the book. I have the author's name and the other publishing information. I have a picture of the book. By simply selecting the title, on the next page, it will show me the different tools that I have access to. I have a description of the book to see if this is really something that I would like to view. And over to the left-hand side, if I simply select PDF full text, this now loads the entire book up for me to view online. So we have the contents listed over to the side. I have my tools across the top with the ability to search within this book if I wanted to. This is the cover of the book, and I have 2 ways to navigate through this book. I could just use my scroll bar on the side to simply go from one page to the other, or I could use my navigational arrows, go from left to right, but still the entire book loads up for me. So this is Net Library. I'm closing this out. Now we have a different type of ebooks that are here also, and so I want you to see Credo Reference. This is a collection of reference books that we have. So as I perform my search now for diabetes, what will happen now is that it will give me the total number of results. So we have 3,211 results. different books that will provide me information on my topic. So if I like this one, this is the topic. It talks about type 2 diabetes in children, a growing problem. This is information coming from the Harvard Medical School's commentaries on health. Pulls a couple of sentences from it. I could save all of the ones that I like as a bookmark. Tells me how many words, and it gives me other key concepts that I could branch off from. Now, if you're more of a visual type learner, this is our topic, and it shows you how other things can branch off from that, so you can narrow your results down a little bit. By simply selecting my topic, it will now display the information coming from this source for me. And then these are the tools across the top that I can actually use. So it's just a different type of ebook that you have access to. And closing this out. Let's see, where do we like to go now? Let's go to the category of medicine health. And up under medicine health, we have a large number of results. So let's just simply go to Nursing and Allied Health Collection Comprehensive. And with this particular database, I want to try to find information on something called the zero waste movement. And as you can see, I think I saw the zero waste lifestyle actually pop up also. Okay, so now this is saying my initial search did not yield anything. So the zero waste movement did not yield anything, but it's giving me things that it thinks is close to it. So let me just try to go back. And let's try the zero waste lifestyle and see if that yields any results. And that didn't really find anything either. So this just shows me this may not be the best database to try to find something on this topic. And sometimes you'll find that happens. But what I have here, this is my title, The Zero Waste Solution, Untrashing the Planet One Community at One Time. This is the author's name. This is my source. This tells you some of the subject headings. And then I can look at the HTML version, which is the full text. So even though I don't have a lot of results here, I can at least take what I have here, read through it, try to come up with a different search strategy to help me find more information, or just kind of use another database to try to find something. My tools are provided over to the right-hand side. So let's close this out. Now let's go to the category of multimedia. This will be our last place where we will search. So under multimedia, I'm selecting the Master Academic Collection. This has over 42,000 videos or DVDs that we can view. And I want to try to find information on vaccinations. I have 252 results for vaccinations. So as I scroll down looking through my results, let's say that I want to select this one, affordable mass vaccinations. I have the ability to just look at this particular segment if I want. I can look at the entire video, look at the entire transcript. I could turn on closed captioning. I could view it in full screen mode if I want to. These are the tools I have access to. I have a description of this video. These are different tags that I could branch off to other things if I wanted to. Now remember, this particular database had over 42,000. Academic Video Online has over 71,000. We also have feature films for education. So if you want to like take a break and watch a movie, you can do that from this particular database. There are over 600 different movies that are provided here. Now, what I suggest you do, instead of just kind of scrolling to see the different ones that are here, why don't you just go to the menu and select Browse All Titles. And at this point, you should see an alphabetical listing for all of the titles that we have. And I'm closing this out. So I think you should have a good idea now about how to use our resources, whether it's for a newspaper or for a reference book, or even if you wanted to find something for mathematics or exams, we have something to support you. But not every class has some type of writing assignment. So at this point, I'm selecting grammar. Under recommended websites, there are tools that will help you when it comes to citing resources, writing essays, writing paragraphs, but I am interested in showing you the Thesis Builder. So after you have completed your research and you feel very knowledgeable of your topic, simply come and answer these questions, which are very simple. What's the topic you want to write about? What's your main opinion on the topic? What's the strongest argument supporting your opinion? What's a second good argument that supports your opinion? And if you're not writing a persuasive paper, you can change this to what is a third good argument that supports your opinion. You create a title, and when you select Build the Thesis, based upon what you have placed here, it will generate a thesis statement for you. Now, it is not plagiarism as long as you don't copy and paste something from a source and use it as your own. Make an online outline will place everything in outline format for you so that you could stay on target when you're actually writing your paper. And it will give you suggestions of how to build up each section of the paper. The thesis statement generator can help you with cause and effect type papers. Grammarly is a source that will proof your papers before you turn it in to your instructors. In order for you to use Grammarly, you need to create an account. So this is your registration page. You enter your name. You must enter your Southwest email, and it asks you for a password. When you select sign up, an email goes to your Southwest email, and at that point you complete the validation and wait for your welcome message. When you have your own account, I suggest you simply copy and paste whatever you have written into Grammarly. It will proof it for grammatical errors, spelling errors, and also plagiarism. It will give you a listing of all of the problems that it found. It will give you suggestions of how to correct your problems. It will give you an explanation of why it was a problem, or you can simply dismiss what it is telling you. Grammarly will also send you little alerts throughout the week comparing your writing styles with other people who have accounts, and it then may give you like little tidbits of how you can improve your writing skills. I want you to also remember that you can always work with somebody in the Academic Support Center if you want to work with somebody one-on-one. Make sure that you always sign out of your account when you have finished. Now let's close this out. I'm going back to the library's homepage. Now let me show you SOAR, which is our discovery service. And my last search will be on vaping. So what the Discovery Service does is it pulls together all of our resources, print and electronic, and puts everything together in one place for you. So whereas I started off showing you the individual databases, this just pulls everything together. You get like that Google experience that you like so much. So on the topic of vaping, we have 117,997 results. This number is too massive, so if I want to narrow this down over to the left-hand side, I can select full text online. Under content types, I can simply just select newspaper articles. Under publication date, I can select the last 12 months. And as you can see, I'm down to like 43,906. So I have a listing of my results, which provides me with my topic, my author's name, the source and the date, a couple of sentences pulled from it. These are the different tools I have access to. And by simply selecting my topic, I should now be able to view the full text of the article. And once again, here are my tools that I can use to finish up a project. So this is how to use our discovery service. Now, I've gone over lots of things, so I just want to wrap things up by letting you know that if you need help later on, you may want to first go to our YouTube channel to look at some of the videos that we have posted. And as I said, these are videos that will just show you how to use some of our resources. And if you want to search for something, like maybe you want to search for the Thesis Builder, this is your search option here. Not here, but you have to use this search option. I'm back at the library's homepage, and we're wrapping up with Ask a Librarian. So these are the different ways to get help. Request for a research coach. If you have a research project, you would like a librarian to help you gather your information, not proof your papers, simply let us know what is a good time by submitting this form, and a librarian will contact you. Ref Chatter, when a librarian is online, you would just simply click and ask a question, wait for a response. When the librarian is not online, just send an email. These are the different hours of operation. You could use the text number here to send us a text message. You can use our Facebook page as a way to reach out to us. When it comes to telephone numbers, we have staff members who are responding to any voice messages that are left. We have librarians embedded in all of the online classes. So if you go to your class list, you'll see Ask a Librarian listed, and you can ask us questions there. BombGuard is a software that would allow us to remote out to your computers if you're having problems with our libraries page now. This is our departmental email address that you can use. And if you can't think of any other way to contact us, feel free to use Report a Problem. Now I'm back now at the library's homepage, and at this point I'm about to stop sharing my screen. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope that this has been helpful and that you'll feel a lot more comfortable using library resources. Remember that you can always get assistance from a librarian at any time by using the options at Ask a Librarian. I do hope that this has been helpful, and thank you so much for joining me today.